Did you know that a single can of food can contain more sodium than 3 bags of chips combined? Or that some cans hide mercury that silently builds up in your brain and kidneys for years? Even more alarming, certain canned foods, especially low-acid ones, can harbor botulism spores, a toxin so deadly that just a microscopic amount can cause paralysis or death. Seniors are at the greatest risk because aging hearts, kidneys, and memory simply cannot handle these hidden assaults. Medications like blood pressure pills, diuretics, and ACE inhibitors can interact dangerously with the very additives that fill many cans. What looks like an easy, affordable meal can quietly push your health over the edge. Today, I'll expose 7 canned foods to avoid and reveal 2 safe ones. Number 1. Vienna sausages. Vienna sausages are soft, cheap, and nostalgic. Many seniors remember eating them in sandwiches or with crackers. But today, those little cans are one of the most deceptive traps in the grocery store. The first danger is sodium. One can contains 700 to 1,000 milligrams, which is between 1/3 and 3/4 of the recommended daily limit. For an older adult on blood pressure medication or kidney pills, that sodium spike immediately raises blood pressure, makes the body retain fluid, and forces medications to work harder. Even reduced sodium versions are not safe. By law, reduced only means 25% less than the original. That still leaves you with more than 700 milligrams per can, an unsafe amount for anyone over 60 with heart or kidney disease. The second danger is potassium chloride, often used to replace salt. It sounds harmless, but for people on ACE inhibitors, Arkansas bees, or potassium-sparing diuretics like spironolactone, extra potassium can cause hyperkalemia, a dangerous rise in blood potassium. This can trigger sudden, irregular heart rhythms that put lives at risk. Vienna sausages also contain nitrites, which help keep the meat pink. Unfortunately, nitrites form nitrosamines, compounds classified as carcinogens. The phosphate additives that keep the texture springy quietly burden kidneys and arteries. The can itself is lined with chemicals BPA, or its substitutes BPS and BPF, that may disrupt hormones and blood sugar. Finally, Vienna sausages are a low-acid canned meat, which means they depend on perfect sterilization. If the seal is faulty, botulism spores can survive. Botulism has no smell, no taste, and no warning signs. In 2023, millions of pounds of canned meat, including Vienna sausages, were recalled for this very reason. The truth is simple. Vienna sausages offer little nutrition and carry multiple dangers. For seniors who need soft protein, safer choices include scrambled eggs, beans, or fresh fish. These foods provide protein without loading your body with salt, chemicals, and risk. Number 2. Canned tuna. Canned tuna is one of the most common pantry staples. It's affordable, rich in protein, and often promoted as a healthy source of omega-3 fats. But for seniors, canned tuna hides more dangers than benefits. The first is mercury. Light tuna, skipjack, contains less mercury, but albacore white tuna contains almost 3 times more. Mercury does not leave the body quickly, it accumulates in your brain and kidneys. Over years, it leads to memory loss, tremors, and worsening kidney function. Seniors, who already face declining organ resilience, are far more vulnerable to this silent toxin. The second concern is histamine poisoning. If tuna warms before it's canned, a natural compound called histidine is converted into histamine. Unlike bacteria, Histamine is not destroyed by cooking or sterilization. Eating contaminated tuna can cause flushing, racing heartbeat, dizziness, and allergic-type reactions that may be mistaken for heart problems. Canned tuna is also a low-acid food, which means botulism spores can survive if the canning process fails. Botulism cannot be detected by taste or smell. In 2025, multiple tuna brands were recalled because of packaging defects that increased this very risk. Even the packaging itself carries hazards. Tuna cans often have BPA linings or substitutes like BPS and BPF, which may disrupt hormones, worsen diabetes, or affect cancer risk. Finally, sodium cannot be ignored. Brined or flavored tuna can contain 300–400 milligrams of sodium per serving. Reduced sodium cans often contain potassium chloride, again, unsafe for people with kidney disease or those taking ACE inhibitors or ARBs. For seniors, safer choices include light tuna in water, always drained and rinsed before eating, or even better, fresh or frozen fish like salmon or sardines. These provide protein and omega-3 second without the hidden mercury, additives, or chemical risks that come with a can. Number 3. Canned soups. Canned soup has long been considered a comfort food. Fast, warm, and ready in minutes. But for seniors, that cozy bowl often hides a chemical storm. The biggest danger is sodium overload. A single serving of chicken noodle, beef stew, or cream-based soup contains 700 to 900 milligrams of sodium. Most people eat the entire can, doubling that to over 1,400 milligrams, more than half the recommended daily allowance in one sitting. This pushes blood pressure up, strains the heart, and worsens swelling in the legs and ankles. What about reduced sodium soups? Don't be fooled. Reduced only means 25% less than the original. A soup that once had 900 milligrams will now have about 675, still unsafe. To make matters worse, many brands swap salt for potassium chloride. For seniors on kidney or heart medications, this substitution can cause life-threatening high potassium levels. The second concern is additives. Creamy soups are thickened with starch and sugar, and meats are treated with phosphate stabilizers. These stress kidneys and bones over time. Allergens like milk, soy, or wheat are also common, making canned soup a risky option for anyone with sensitivities. Third, canned soups are low-acid foods. If sterilization is not perfect, botulism spores can survive. A bulging, leaking, or spurting can should never be opened or tasted. It should be thrown out immediately. Finally, the packaging is concerning. Many soup cans are lined with BPA or similar chemicals that may disrupt hormones. Europe banned BPA in 2024, but the US still allows it. The safer option is simple. Make soup at home with low-sodium broth, frozen vegetables, and lean protein. In just 15 minutes, you can prepare a warm, nourishing bowl that supports your health instead of harming it. Number 4. Canned chili. Canned chili is marketed as hearty and satisfying, a complete meal in minutes. But for seniors, it is one of the most dangerous cans on the shelf. The first danger is its status as a low-acid food. Chili must be sterilized at extremely high heat over 240 degrees Fahrenheit to kill Clostridium botulinum. If the process is incomplete, spores survive. Inside the sealed can, they grow and release botulinum toxin, odorless, tasteless, and lethal. The second issue is sodium overload. 1 cup of canned chili typically contains 1,000 milligrams of sodium. If you eat the whole can, you're consuming nearly 2,000 milligrams in one meal, almost the entire daily limit. For seniors, this sodium surge raises blood pressure, causes water retention, and forces the heart and kidneys into overdrive. Salt substitutes also make chili risky. Many brands use potassium chloride, which is especially dangerous for seniors taking common medications like ACE inhibitors, Arkansas bees, or potassium-sparing diuretics. Extra potassium can quickly lead to hyperkalemia, a life-threatening rise in blood potassium. Chili also contains phosphate additives that give the meat a springy texture. These additives overload the kidneys and weaken bones over time. Combined with preservatives, dyes, and other chemicals, the meal becomes a cocktail of risks rather than nourishment. Finally, chili cans are lined with BPA, or chemical substitutes, that may leach into the food. Heat and long storage only increase this effect. For seniors, the safest alternative is homemade chili. Use no salt-added beans, fresh lean turkey or chicken, tomato paste, and natural spices. This version is heart-healthy, kidney-friendly, and still packed with flavor. Number 5. Canned fruit in syrup. Fruit should be a healthy choice, but canned fruit in syrup turns nature's gift into a sugar trap. Even when labeled light syrup, the product is still soaked in sugar water. A typical cup of canned peaches in syrup contains 30 grams of added sugar, the same as a can of soda. For seniors, this creates dangerous spikes in blood glucose, interferes with diabetes management, and adds extra strain to the heart. Studies in JAMA show that adults who consume 17-21% of their calories from added sugar have a significantly higher risk of death from cardiovascular disease. The syrup is not the only problem. The cans are often lined with epoxy coatings containing BPA. While the US FDA insists current levels are safe, Europe has banned BPA in food packaging. Worse, many BPA-free products use substitutes like BPS and BPF, which appear to have similar hormone-disrupting effects. Storing syrup-packed fruit for years increases the chance that these chemicals will leach into the food. For seniors, this adds up to unnecessary exposure to sugar and endocrine-disrupting chemicals. The body's ability to handle sugar declines with age, and chemical toxins accumulate faster in aging tissues. The good news is, there are safe alternatives. Choose canned fruit labeled in water or in its own juice. Better still, buy frozen fruit. Frozen fruit is harvested at peak ripeness, flash frozen, and free from syrups and chemical linings. A half cup of frozen berries with yogurt or nuts gives natural sweetness, fiber, and antioxidants without the sugar bath. Number 6. Canned spinach. Spinach has a reputation as a superfood, but canned spinach undermines that entirely. First, spinach plants naturally absorb cadmium, a heavy metal from soil. When canned, cadmium remains locked in the food. Over time, cadmium builds up in kidneys and bones, raising the risk of kidney disease and osteoporosis. Europe has placed strict limits on cadmium intake for this reason. Second, canned spinach contains shocking amounts of sodium. 1 cup may have over 700 milligrams, a third of the daily limit. Even no-salt-added cans still have about 200 milligrams, due to natural sodium and processing. Reduced sodium versions often substitute potassium chloride, which can be deadly for seniors on heart or kidney medications. Third, spinach is a low-acid canned food. If the sterilization process fails, botulism spores may survive and grow. You cannot see, smell, or taste botulism. It is only revealed through symptoms like paralysis, which may be too late. The packaging is the fourth concern. While many cans are now labeled BPA-free, replacements like BPS and BPF may still leach into food. Acidic vegetables, like spinach, increase the rate of this leaching. For seniors, canned spinach delivers the opposite of what it promises. Instead of supporting health, it brings heavy metals, excessive sodium, risky additives, and packaging chemicals. The safe alternative is frozen or fresh spinach. Both are rich in vitamins A, C, K, folate, iron, and antioxidants, without the chemical baggage of a can. Add frozen spinach to soups, eggs, or smoothies for safe, convenient nutrition. Number 7. Canned pasta meals. Canned pasta meals like ravioli and spaghetti and tomato sauce are marketed as quick, kid-friendly comfort foods. But for seniors, they are a dangerous trap. First, they are heavily ultra-processed. Each can contains massive amounts of sodium, often the entire daily limit in one meal. The sauces are loaded with added sugars and corn syrup, which spike blood glucose and promote weight gain. The meats are treated with nitrites and phosphates. Nitrites form nitrosamines, cancer-causing compounds recognized by the World Health Organization. Phosphates burden the kidneys, accelerate vascular aging, and weaken bones. Reduced sodium versions are no better. They often use potassium chloride, which is unsafe for seniors with kidney or heart problems. Hidden allergens like milk, soy, wheat, egg, and sesame add further risks. Finally, storage conditions matter. Leaving cans in hot garages or pantries accelerates the leaching of BPA or chemical substitutes from the lining into the food. The result? A supposed convenience food that floods your body with salt, sugar, and chemicals while offering little nutritional benefit. A much safer alternative is to cook whole grain pasta at home with canned tomatoes, safe option number 1, and olive oil. In just 15 minutes, you can prepare a healthier, heart-protective meal without the additives that make canned pasta so risky. Safe option number 1, canned beans. Not all canned foods are bad, and canned beans are a clear exception. Beans are nutrient-rich, providing protein, fiber, potassium, folate, and iron. A half-cup serving offers 7-9 grams of protein and 6-9 grams of fiber, which supports digestion, heart health, and blood sugar control. For seniors who often lack these nutrients, beans are invaluable. The main concern is sodium. Regular cans contain 300-400 milligrams per serving, but rinsing beans for 10-30 seconds under running water removes up to half the sodium. Choosing no salt added beans makes them even safer. Canned beans also carry very low botulism risk as long as cans are intact and stored correctly. Look for flat lids with no bulges, leaks, or dents. Packaging safety is also improving, with many brands now using BPA-free or BPA-NI linings. Storing cans in a cool pantry minimizes leaching. Beans are also affordable and versatile. They can be added to soups, salads, wraps, or mashed into spreads. Their combination of protein and fiber makes them filling, helping seniors maintain steady blood sugar and heart health without relying on processed meats or salty snacks. Compared to nearly every other canned food, beans stand out as a safe, beneficial staple. Safe option number 2, canned tomatoes. Canned tomatoes are not only safe, they may actually be healthier than fresh. Tomatoes are naturally acidic, which prevents botulism growth. The high heat used during canning breaks down tomato cell walls, making lycopene, a powerful antioxidant, more bioavailable. Lycopene supports heart health and may reduce the risk of certain cancers. The main risk is sodium. Some brands add hundreds of milligrams of salt per serving or even swap in potassium chloride. Seniors should choose plain, no salt added tomatoes. Adding olive oil while cooking further boosts lycopene absorption. Packaging is another concern. Because tomatoes are acidic, they can leach chemicals from can linings faster than other foods. Fortunately, most tomato products now come in BPA-free or BPA-NI cans. Storing them in a cool place reduces leaching even more. Canned tomatoes are versatile. Use them in soups, pasta, stews, or casseroles. They are inexpensive, long-lasting, and nutrient-dense, making them one of the best pantry staples for seniors. Your pantry can either protect your health or quietly endanger it. Today, we uncovered 7 canned foods to avoid: Vienna sausages, tuna, soups, chili, fruit in syrup, spinach, and pasta meals. Each is loaded with salt, chemicals, or toxins that place seniors at high risk. But 2 safe options, beans and tomatoes, can provide affordable, nutrient-rich benefits when chosen and prepared wisely. The rules are simple. Avoid bulging or dented cans, read sodium labels, and watch for potassium salt if you take kidney or heart medications. Replace the risky 7 with the safe 2. Share this video with someone over 50. Comment with the canned food you're removing today, and subscribe for more Senior Health Series guidance. Your health deserves clarity, not confusion.